Hey, everybody, welcome to the Breaking 90 podcast. I'm your host, Alex Harriman, and this is my co-host, Jerrika Rydell. We are the coaches from Breaking 90 Fitness. Thanks for listening. Jerrika, so I put a post out on Instagram, and I was asking people, what do you think of cricket protein powder? And I got some interesting responses, but I also heard that you've tried cricket protein powder, and I thought it'd be fun to talk about that tonight, and I'd love to hear the story because we haven't even discussed this yet. So tell me about your cricket protein powder experience.
I wouldn't call it protein powder. I'd say homemade grounded crickets, maybe you can say. I think it was grade 10 biology, and I thought this was a normal thing. So I guess I'm wrong. Grade 10 biology, we kept like a back corner of crickets, mealworms, and cockroaches in this tank. And we raised them, I guess, for science. And at the end of the semester, our teacher said, like, if we can keep them alive and keep them going, we'll eat them. And we didn't think she was serious. And then it came down to the last week of school. And here we all were grounding up crickets, mealworms. And some people in my class were full blown eating cockroaches live. And it was insane. So anyways, we made cupcakes out of the cricket protein powder, and they were delicious and nutritious. So that was my experience. I didn't eat a live cockroach, but I ate a live mealworm. So that
That's
was my
disgusting.
experience.
So these cricket cupcakes, did they taste any different?
No,
Not at all.
I don't think. No, I didn't. Not that I remember. I think we pan fried them or we baked them, and then
Oh
we
my God.
blended or we grounded them up. And then we used them just as like part of our floury mixture, and it had protein in it. So it was great.
So I know it's been growing in popularity, cricket protein powder. I know it's got a
Yeah.
really good protein content. And they're super renewable and all of that. But do you think that this is going to be something we see getting more popular?
I don't think so,
Yeah.
but I think it's just one of those little bit of a craze, you know?
Yeah, and you know what? I would try it for sure. I'd have no problem trying it. I just can't see myself ever turning to it unless maybe it became like exponentially cheaper than whey
That's
protein.
my question is, what would the texture be like? And how would it how would it mix with almond milk or something? You know what I mean? That's
Mhm.
kind of what would be my questions and concerns. But I'd try it for sure.
Yeah, you know what? I totally agree with that because mixability, if you will, and flavor of protein powder is
Mm-hmm.
huge. Like
Hit or miss.
I will go. I'll spend a little bit more for sure if a protein powder mix as well.
Mm-hmm.
And then I'm not a big fan of whey isolates with no sugar. I know,
That's tasty.
yeah, I don't like the flavoring of a lot of the sweeteners. Like a lot of them use stevia, and I don't enjoy the flavor of that. So
Yeah.
I'll often look for a protein powder that has like 1 or 2 grams of sugar because it just tastes a lot better typically.
I'm with you, but I'm not picky at all. I'll pretty much eat or drink any protein powder. But yeah, when it comes down to it, when I store, it has a couple grams
Yeah,
of sugar because it's okay.
yeah. All right. What do you want to talk about tonight? What's our topic?
Today we're thinking purposeful movement. So what does purposeful movement mean to you when you hear
Cool.
that?
So purposeful movement. We've got a few really big guiding principles with Breaking 90 Fitness, and I'd say purposeful movement's one of them. It's something that we preach every day to our coaching clients, and something that I think is really important. So purposeful movement to me is finding something that you're willing to do daily and that you're passionate about. It's getting out and moving every day, bettering yourself every day. So when I explain purposeful movement to a client, it's setting out with an intentional purpose of moving. People will say, well, I've got a ton of yard work to do, or I've got to cut the lawn or shovel the driveway or clean the house. And I don't actually categorize this stuff as purposeful movement for the reason that you would do it anyway.
Right.
Um, I mean, it's great. As we all know, you burn a ton of calories doing that stuff. But if it's something you're already going to fit in, I want you to do something above and beyond that. I want you to set out to better yourself. Um, that's a basically how I look at purposeful movement. Get out, intentionally move every single day, and it doesn't have to be big. It could be anything.
I
What do
agree
you
for
think?
sure. No, I totally agree. And like that's kind of how I look at it. Like if it's in my schedule when I wake up in the morning to, like you said, vacuum the house, or then that's not considered in my purposeful movement. But if I already have a workout planned and I'm going, I'm planning to move for 20, 30, 40, 50 minutes intentionally, then my workout is my purposeful movement. But on rest days, per se, when I take a rest day, I'm not just sitting on the couch all day. That's when I'm preaching to our coaching clients, like those rest days are still active days. You're still doing something with the intention of moving and focusing on the importance of how do you feel when you move, right? So just getting out for a walk is obviously the most basic one, because I think people underestimate the power of walking, and I think that's always something that we both talk about. um, Purposely, doing yoga. I don't know. What are some other examples that you would give?
I think that you highlighted walking is huge because often when people start with us or start any program for that matter, they're like, okay, it's day one, I'm all in. Where
Hmm.
are the workouts at? Let's get going. And I'll often ask somebody, what have you been doing leading up to this? And nothing is a typical response. This
Yeah.
is a fresh start for me, so I haven't been doing anything. And I'll challenge them and I'll say, go for a 20-minute walk today. And they'll be like, okay, no problem. They come back from the 20-minute walk. How do you feel? I feel really good. What's next? Do it again tomorrow. And people feel like it might not be enough to get what they want to get, but it is a great start. So if you're listening to this and you're looking for something, start today, start with 20 minutes, start with a walk, and do it again tomorrow.
Yep.
And once that becomes easy, once that becomes habit, compound on it. If you want to add workouts in, add workouts in. If you want to add yoga in, add yoga in. But do something intentional every day. And we, as you and I both know, exercise isn't the end all and be all when we're
Right.
talking about weight loss. So people often go in with the mentality that they have to have a killer 45-minute, hour long, hour and a half workout in order to lose fat, when in reality, what's the biggest factor?
Moving,
Moving.
eating.
Getting movement in for
Yeah.
sure, and then taking control of your nutrition,
Yep.
right?
Top two. Doesn't like you said, doesn't have to be. It's a tool. Strength training is a tool, right? Building muscle is a tool, but at the end of the day, you just have to move. Were you moving before? No. Were you moving now? Then you'll see so many more changes. So I agree, and I think with purposeful movements, I don't always want the focus to be on movement for fat loss, which it definitely is a huge tool, but I think there's just so many more benefits that we have to look at outside of that just getting out for 20 minutes of movement,
Mm-hmm.
mentally, emotionally, stress, right? Digestion,
Mm-hmm.
like obviously burning calories. It's a creative outlet for me. That's where all my creative juices start to flow when I'm doing my 20 minutes of purposeful movement. So like benefits galore, and not just for that one focus that most people think of when they're thinking of movement. So that's kind of really important to me.
And I'm actually glad you mentioned that, because one of our big focuses is on whole health. So I mean, health isn't just exercise, health isn't just nutrition. There's so much more to it. There's mental health, there's stress related health, there's sleeping, there's so many different branches of health. And one thing we know for sure is exercise and movement is good for whole health. It helps us, it
Absolutely.
helps us sleep better. It helps, like you say, your gut health, helps you digest better, helps you lose weight, it helps your muscles, it helps your joints. But then compounding on top of that, getting outside,
Big
it
one.
can, getting outside is massive, right? It
Yeah.
helps us in all of these different areas of whole health also. So if you can start compounding these activities, if you know you're only going to be able to achieve 20 minutes of purposeful movement in a day, and you can get outside for a 20-minute walk, you're getting your exercise and your outdoor time in 20 minutes, and it's
Yep.
massive. And it circles back to that all or nothing mentality. But I mean, 20 minutes of walking outside is a million times better than doing nothing.
Million, yeah, I agree.
One point that I think is really important to touch on is that we could make you the best workout in the world, and I think we do make very good training programs for our clients, and it's going to do well for you if you do it consistently. But the truth of the matter is, you could go to any convenience store on the road, grab a fitness magazine, pick a workout out of it, and do it consistently, and you're going to get pretty good results.
Yep.
Even if that workout's not the best workout for you, it will be good enough if you do it consistently for general health. If your goal is general health, if you don't have really specific training plans.
Right.
That being said, it doesn't matter how good of a workout we design for you or you pull off Google. If you don't do it consistently, you aren't going to get results. Right?
That's the bottom
So
line.
so that's really what we're talking about when we talk about purposeful movement, is find something you are willing to do, something you're passionate about, and do it consistently, because consistency is 100 times more important than intensity. If you're going out there crushing a workout to the point of exhaustion, to the point of throwing up once in a while, it's going to get you nowhere. But if you can go out and walk 7 days a week, it's gonna compound. It's gonna start adding up.
And think about how often we get clients come to us and say, so I woke up this morning, I got my 20 minutes of purposeful movement in. I went outside for a walk. How much more motivated are they now to continue ticking off their goals the rest of the day? They want to eat healthier now because they got their movement in. They want to, they want to drink their water. And so they're starting to tick off their goals because they're already setting the tone for the day. Even if you're doing it in the evening, it's just the fact that this 20 minutes of devoted movement every day is setting the tone for all the other health and fitness related goals. And I think that's something that we've heard many times.
Yeah, it's so true. And that's something that would be worth talking about on an entire episode, actually, is starting your day with a win. If you
Yeah.
can set yourself 5, 10, 15, 20, 30 minutes in the morning to get out and get for a walk, you're starting your day with a win. You're starting with a clean palate, and it sets you off on the right foot. So the whole day you build momentum off of that, and it's getting outside, so you're getting 2 wins. Really, you're getting your exercise and your outdoor time. And I want to challenge you, if you're listening to this, wake up 5 minutes early tomorrow and go for a 5-minute walk. I know it doesn't sound like much, but seriously, like, you have to start somewhere, and starting with 5 minutes is great.
Around the block. Honestly, if I can't do anything in the morning, I'm going around the block, and you feel so good.
Well, and another thing is, you get it done first thing in the morning, and you know how a day starts. You start off with an empty plate and all of these great intentions, and as the day builds, especially, I mean, I know everybody's busy in today's day and age. People are working multiple jobs, people are going to school and working and have kids. But you start your day with that clean plate. And if your number one goal is get out for the walk, you know it's going to happen. You might have that workout scheduled after work, but as that plate fills, you know how it happens. Sometimes you're not going to get that workout in, or you're not going to get as much of that workout in, or maybe it's going to get pushed to the next day. Well, you know what? At least you started your day with that walk. Right?
Yep.
If the main goal is purposeful movement every day, and you can start with a 5-minute walk, 10-minute walk, 20-minute walk, you're guaranteeing movement in your day. And I think that's huge.
That's it. That's all you need.
And
Challenge accepted.
yeah. If you are listening to this and you like the idea of purposeful movement, start with 5 minutes tomorrow. Aim for 5 minutes every day, and then next week aim for 10. And it's not one of those things that has to bump up to the point where you're doing an hour every day. We challenge our clients to 20 minutes a day.
20 minutes.
I think it's totally manageable. I don't know anybody that can't fit 20 minutes of purposeful movement into their day. And if you can't, you need to change your priorities, because there's really nothing more important than doing that.
Think about how every single person guaranteed spends 20 minutes on their phone at least a day. So get out for a walk, right?
Yeah.
It's very doable.
Absolutely. I'd love to hear what you guys think of the idea of purposeful movement. Drop us a comment and let us know, or ask us some questions if it interests you, and for sure let us know what you want to hear for future topics also, because we're doing this for you guys. So if there's something you want to hear us discuss, let us know in the comments. Make sure you rate this episode, review it, share it with your friends. We want to help as many people as we can with this podcast. So if you found it interesting, share it, please. Let us know. Thanks for listening today, guys. And that's it for that episode.
See ya.